child's birthday party in Stockton, California, to come forward as they continue hunting for a suspect. 3 youngsters ages 8, 9, and 14 were killed, along with a 21-year-old. The Dow futures down 200 points. More details, srnnews.com.
If you are 65 or older, you know this. Inflation is hitting everyone hard right now, especially when it comes to healthcare. Over the last 10 years, healthcare costs have skyrocketed by, get this, 230%. If you have Medicare Parts A and B, you know there are still out-of-pocket expenses like deductibles and co-payments, and they really add up. But here's some good news. MediShare 65 Plus is designed to fill in those gaps and help protect you from rising healthcare costs. At only $99 per month up to age 75, you get peace of mind at a price you can afford. And MediShare is trusted, too. It's been around 30 years. It's not some big impersonal thing. It's a community of people helping each other, business owners, pastors, retirees. People love it. MediShare 65 Plus just makes sense. To learn more, give them a call. They're great to talk to. They'll offer to pray with you each time you call, too. Call now. 833-SHARE-55. That's 833-SHARE-55. 833-SHARE-55.
Your home for Goodland High School athletics, the Denver Broncos, Tech Tiger basketball, and the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer and Connor Schuh. This is Goodland's Rocket 102.5, KKCI-FM, Goodland, an NWKS radio station.
Still offer good old Western Hospital.
Cold temperatures in the teens and light snow this morning, moves off to the east this afternoon, and skies clear from west to east with highs reaching 30 to 35 out to the west and stays in the 20s to the east. Snow totals less than an inch out west to 2 to 3 inches east of Highway 25. And northwesterly winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour today turn to the southwest around 10 miles per hour tonight, with lows in the mid to upper teens. Tomorrow, sunshine and southwest winds around 10 miles per hour will start today. We'll warm highs into the mid to upper 40s ahead of a cold front tomorrow night and Wednesday. Could see some light snow in Colorado and flurries across northwest Kansas, with lows in the 20s Wednesday morning, the teens Wednesday night, with daytime highs below freezing. Thursday and Friday, mild and dry with some sun, warming temperatures back up in the mid-40s to low 50s, lows 20 to 25. This meteorologist Chris Romick of the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
At Nextech Wireless, get the iPhone 17 on us. iPhone 17 comes in 4 gorgeous colors with a brighter 6.3-inch display and a ceramic 2 shield front that's 3 times more scratch resistant. Capture super high resolution shots by default with the advanced 48MP dual fusion camera system, and have flexible ways to frame your shot with dual capture video for simultaneous front and rear recording. Nextech Wireless, connecting Kansas.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities, contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland, and let's get you covered. The insurance agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Fall is here, and so are big savings at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation up to $7,000 off with eligible GMC loyalty. Check out the 26 GMC Arcadia 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. On the Chevy side, the 2026 Equinox is 0% APR, and the 26 Colorado Trail Boss gets $500 customer cash or 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Harvest the savings this fall at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Online at hurlchev.com.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pestaway in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pestaway today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
This fall, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware has everything you could need. Keep your lawn strong with Ultimate Winterizer, the best defense before the frost. Warm up your evenings and create memories with a new fire pit. Or bring home the flavor with a great selection of grills and smokers from brands like Traeger, Blackstone, Green Egg, and more. And right now, the lumber prices are low, and so are the temperatures, making it the best season to tackle those outdoor projects. It's Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware with locations in Goodland and Colby. Open every day but Sunday.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4! It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
If you want to win in football, it all starts up front. Mass kicks ass.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
They're basically idiots.
Covering it all from the preps.
Up ahead to Blair Lennon. Lennon the crossover back to Cure. Hello, boom! A two-handed tomahawk flush.
To the pros.
Shotgun snap to Nix. Protection is good. Bold loads it up. He's got it. A receiver there. Franklin makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Denver.
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the insurance agency, Pest Away LLC, Topside Portables and Pupping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
Second down and a yard for the 17. They give it to Joe again. 15, 10, to the 5, to the goal line.
Serve sail to the back right. That's Maisie. Perfect pass. Center to Bergen Riley. Point set match. Big Red. That's perfection. 30-0.
Daniels, three-step drop, pumps once, lobs to the end zone. Got a man, got a touchdown. Leighton Cure in the end zone.
Nix turns, hands to Harvey. Harvey left side into the end zone. Touchdown, Denver. 2-point conversion. Denver with the blitz on the way. Ball deflected by Nick Bonito, and the Broncos win it.
Boy, you could hear those exhales across the High Plains last night, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Nick Bonito, who's having a first-team All-Pro Bowl type of season with a big-time play on what was a great Sunday night football game. I mean, when my wife was getting ready for bed, and then I come back in, I took a shower, and I came back, and she was still watching the game, and she's like, well, it got really interesting because, they scored, and then Washington had these crazy plays, and they got down to the end zone. I couldn't stop watching. I was like, man, apparently I thought the game was over, but apparently I was wrong. So what a great win last night for the Denver Broncos there in overtime over the Commanders, and shout out to Washington playing with backup quarterback Marcus Mariota, who made some great plays down the stretch of that game, and and some clutch plays too. Had the touchdown pass on the pick route there to get the 6, and then the 2-point conversion. They had the perfect play call designed, just Nick Bonito's super long arms that they pay him lots of money to use. Gets the deflection. The Broncos improved to 10-2, another close win. It's like watching the Chiefs of yesteryear. All these close wins for Denver. No blowout wins. In fact, a lot of offensive games, a lot of games offensively, you're like, I don't even know if this team can make a deep playoff run, but they find ways to get it done.
They're going to have to win those close games in the playoffs. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And I was thinking about it, yesterday driving home. I was thinking about it, driving home from the marketplace, Christmas marketplace, which, by the way, thank you to all who came and supported that and were a part of that. It was a great turnout, and it's good to see everybody on Sunday. But I was thinking about, boy, if there's a team, and I don't mean this in a negative way, even though a lot of people are going to take it, if there is a team that's one of those first-round teams that gets upset in the first round of the playoffs, it could be the Broncos, just because offensively, I just don't know what I'm getting every time. It's a box of chocolates.
I don't know if you saw the Bo Nix interception, but it's like I saw that, and it's just like I don't know if I trust him in that offense all the time.
We'll see. I mean, they're winning games, and that's all that matters. They are winning football games. That is for sure. But good Monday morning, everybody. It is Monday, December the 1st of 2025. Real quickly, a happy birthday shout out to my youngest. Bishop turns 2 years old today.
The big 2.
Happy birthday to Bishop. Turns 2 this morning. We woke him up and sang him happy birthday. He wasn't real pleased.
A little tired.
Like, I haven't woke up yet. Don't start this stuff. But happy birthday to Mr. Bishop, 2 years old today. But yes, a full show ahead here on a Monday. We will be getting to our weekend winners and losers here in just a little bit. We will be busy with Nick Athen of Chiefs Blitz, Kansas City losing to Dallas on Thanksgiving. And we'll get some thoughts on other things around the NFL with Nick Athen coming up here as well in today's program. I'll try to highlight as much as we can. FB Bank text line is open at 785-899-2222 if you'd like to give out your thoughts. Michael this morning saying 10-2, go Broncos. Kyle, a close loss any day. At least my team was in the game. I don't know what that means there, Kyle. For the Chiefs, I'm guessing that, Kyle. I could be wrong on that statement. I'll have to go back and look at that, Kyle. Sorry. And then Jared wishing Bishop happy birthday. Thank you, Jared. Appreciate that, my friend. Hope you had a great time in Manhattan, Jared. I saw you went to the Colorado K-State game. Little cold, little wintry there, but I hope you had a good time with your son. So anyway, lots to get to on today's program. First and foremost, though, how was Thanksgiving for the Schuh family and household?
It was good. The turkey was a little late, about maybe like an hour and a half late.
Uh-oh, what happened?
And I think we are the family that always starts things a little bit late. So
okay. That's not
we
bad.
thought we had a little bit more time than we did. And everyone comes over at like 5:30. Turkey's not out till 6:30. So other than that, though, it was good.
That's all right. That's time for hors d'oeuvres and, drinks and all that, libations.
Exactly.
It's time for that stuff.
Plenty of that stuff to be had. That was for sure. But everyone, good company, good to see family. Can't complain.
Connor made it back, safely from his travels. And I was visiting with him yesterday. Didn't have any too crazy of stories from no trains, planes, and automobile stories that happened there.
Pretty smooth sailing, I would say.
Good to hear. For us, it was great. Great time. Went back, spent some time with the family in Nebraska. So it was great. Got to see some family that came all the way back from Indiana. So that was good to see. So yeah, we had a wonderful time. Got back Saturday and was at the Christmas marketplace on Sunday, obviously, and was good to be at that. So it was a busy weekend. It was quick and over, and now we're into the month of December, which means one thing in my household, pretty much basketball. Basketball starting up here on Friday for the high school teams. So yeah, and of course football wrapping up a football, of course, this past Saturday with state championships and games of that sort. By the way, unfortunately, our own Weston Coyotes did not win back-to-back state championships. They end up coming up short, losing to Cunningham, a team they beat by 1 last year in the same exact state title game in the same exact place. Greensburg could not get it done. They lose 51-8. Weston had the first score of the game. Carson Wright, 46-yard touchdown run, skunked the rest of the way, and Cunningham gets revenge from last year's close loss to capture the 6-man state championship game there. So congratulations to them. Still, though, congratulations to friend of the program, Brett Clow, and his Weston Coyotes on a great season, 10-2, and state runners-up, back-to-back state title game appearances. They were not the only state champions. Real quickly, since we're on this, in high school football, Andale continued their run. I don't know how many wins that is in a row, like 91. It's ridiculous how many straight wins Andale has in consecutive state championships. They beat Topeka Hayden 38-6. Cape of Mount Carmel 56-21 over Bishop Miege. Manhattan state champs over Olathe Northwest in a shutout 27-0. Salina Central over Baser Linwood 51-34. Great win for Salina Central. South Central. Let's see here. Am I on the right page here? I don't even know if I'm on the right page. Yeah, I'm on the right page. Let's see here. Weston had Cunningham. You witnessed little Hanover Victoria in the frigid cold on a Saturday night, 28-20.
Did.
What was just a quick little takeaway from that game?
I was actually going to throw that in my winners, but
that's fine. We'll stash that. That's fine. We don't have to give away your stuff.
We'll put a pin in it for now.
Put a pin in it. There you go. Let's see here. Sterling Ross, let's see. Yeah, they're all the Nemaha Central with the win over Southeast Saline 35-6. There were some great scores, some great congratulations to all the state champions that captured that wrapped up the football season here just a few days ago. All right, we have got to get rolling here on a Monday show, and no better way to recap an extended weekend with Thanksgiving than our weekend winners and losers.
There are two kinds of people in this world.
There's winners and there's losers.
Which ones were which this past weekend?
I want winners.
Loser! You're a loser!
It's the weekend's winners and losers on the Morning Blitz.
Want to be a winner, be a winner.
By the way, you look a little chilly today. Is it cold in the studio?
It's
hat just adds a little bit more to it.
I know I'm starting to warm up a little bit here, but getting to the car, I was out there clearing it off for a bit, so got cold a little
How
bit.
much did you get? A lot of snow? Wait, I had about, I don't know, maybe a dusting here in Goodland. That's about it. I didn't know how much snow you got.
It wasn't a lot, but there was a decent amount that stuck. We got like an inch, maybe 2, I think, last night.
That's about where they kind of thought it would be. So give credit to the meteorologists out there. They got it right today. It is a cold start. 11 degrees outside, way to a high of 36 here on this Monday, December the 1st. Weekend winners, Connor Schuh. What do you got?
Well, we'll start with Hanover. Why not? Won the state championship in 8-man Division II football, 28-20, which was a really fun game. I got the chance to call that one in the freezing cold. It was like a frozen tundra down there in Greensburg is the way I would describe it. And I think that and the wind made it a little bit more, I guess, a little bit easier to run the football in that weather. But Hanover was able to throw the football. One of their receivers, Braylon Mine, actually threw 2 trick play touchdown passes to essentially seal the game. One of those to Langston Stahlbomber and the last one to Hunter Kiekefer. And that guy, Kiekefer, also had 2 picks to steal the game in the fourth quarter. So incredible performance from Hanover, and congrats to them on the state championship. Good stuff.
Yeah, once again, congratulations to all the state football champions on great seasons, and even the teams that finish in runners-up. Still a great showing there from all those schools. My first weekend winner, I'm going to go with Goodland's own Leighton Cure, tight end for the University of Kansas. For those who didn't see it, he caught his first touchdown at the University of Kansas on senior day. I had a 21-yard catch from Jalen Daniels, the lone receiving touchdown in the game for what was a loss for the Kansas Jayhawks, unfortunately, on senior day there to Utah. But Leighton Cure caught his first touchdown pass. He finishes his career at Kansas with just 4 catches for 63 yards, but he did get that touchdown. And I think that's pretty darn cool. And what a great story for those who don't know, like Connor, about Leighton Cure, a young man who was a pretty good football player here at Goodland, but, was kind of a part of that whole COVID time and didn't really get heavily recruited. Went to Fort Hays State and worked his way on to the place there, and became a really good blocking tight end. Had a few receptions over his course of his career there at Fort Hays State. Was good, but always had a dream that he wanted to play Division I football, and so he decided to use the portal and transferred out. Went to Kansas and was able to get it done. And I know Michelle checks in, he could play another year, and yes, I understand that he could. But at the same time, talk about a really, really great story of a guy who continues to work hard and trying to achieve his goals. You probably won't meet a nicer young man nor a harder working young man when it comes to it. So it's just great to see him get his flowers on senior day there with a touchdown there for the Kansas Jacks. And yes, I understand he could play another year. I get that, and it's hard to track those anymore because of all the rules, transferring in and out, all that kind of stuff. It's hard to track. And how many years? Some guys play for 7 years, and we don't know why, but they just do. So, but yeah, congratulations, Leighton Cure, my first winner of the weekend, on getting his first touchdown at Kansas here this past weekend.
Okay, so my second, we're going to keep it regional. We're going to go with the Broncos, and we talked about it a little bit, but got that win by the skin of their teeth, specifically with that Nick Benito breakup on the 2-point conversion attempt in overtime. But their defense, I guess you could say they held on just enough to make that. They let up the touchdown, but still they were able to score themselves and get in that driver's seat in overtime and get their 10th win. So now they're just kind of on top of the world right now in the AFC. I don't know if anyone would have expected them to be this good. That defense is it's incredible. They made plays when they needed to, and there were a couple of points where you probably thought, okay, the Broncos, they might give this one away, but they were able to make the stops when necessary, and they get the win. And I wouldn't say they've 100% secured the division. The Chargers are still there, 2 games back, but I'd say it's looking really, really good for them right now. And if I remember correctly, they don't have the craziest schedule down the stretch. So good handful of winnable games there for them.
Yeah, they've got at the Raiders next here this weekend, and then they are hosting the Packers the following weekend. Then they have 3 weeks from now, they host the Jaguars. So and then they go on the road to Kansas City on Christmas Day, and then they are at home versus the Chargers to wrap up the regular season. Not a super daunting schedule, but at the same time, the Packers, Chiefs, and Jaguars, I think are all considered I know the Chiefs are outside looking in, but I think we all know that they've got the talent to be a playoff contending team. But that schedule is not brutal, but it's not easy either. But you look at what they've done. I mean, rattling off how many consecutive wins, 9 straight wins here in a row. They've taken care of business. It's not sexy. In no way, shape, or form is it sexy. It's not like they're going out there and making it look easy. It's not. It's amazing. They go out there and they sometimes struggle to move the ball. Sometimes they struggle to score, particularly offensively. But, it seems like when they need it, like they got to have it. They find a way to get it. I mean, Bo Nix last night, 29-45 for 321, one of his better performances of the season. Had a touchdown, had that pick, like you mentioned early in the program. They ran the ball okay, not great, little 3.8 yards per carry, but did get a couple touchdowns out of R.J. Harvey. They're definitely missing J.K. Dobbins at this point in time with him being out for a while. But it doesn't matter how it looks. They're finding ways to win. And like you said, they're getting it done with their defense. Their defense is elite. Their pass rush is elite. And they're getting it done. And so it doesn't matter how beautiful it is or how ugly it is. They're finding ways to get wins. And they get a win on the road in Washington. And they're 10-2. And like Michael said here on the FB Bank text line, he says, need the Giants to win tonight over the Patriots to help out his cause, which is true. He does need that. But yeah, I know it's been a great season for Denver. Sean Payton at the beginning of the OTAs and fall camp was talking about how, this team, if things come together, we are a Super Bowl contending team. And things have come together. I think if you got Sean Payton and some truth serum, he'd probably say, I wish we were a little bit more better offensively, but we are still in a good spot to have a great finish to the year. And I think Bo Nix, listening to him comments on post game, talking about how, we got to be better here, but we know we can be a Super Bowl contending team. They know what they have, and they have a really, really good football team.
No doubt about it.
Winners for me, a final winner for me this weekend, I'm going to give it to Nebraska volleyball. The Nebraska Lady Cornhusker volleyball team waxed Ohio State, made them look like a JV squad. I just want to throw that out there. Oh, they didn't look. They look like nothing. They look like a JV squad.
This is probably our worst season in the past 20 years. So
it was not good. Nebraska swept them easily. At one point in time, they were up 21-6. I think in one set.
Are you serious?
It was fun from a Nebraska volleyball fan. But 30-0 in the regular season, dropped to just one set in Big Ten play. One set. That's all they dropped. One incredible set. It was at UCLA. They only dropped one set all throughout Big Ten, which is considered to be the primo volleyball conference. They completely ran through everybody with ease, like a hot knife through butter. Became just the 6th team in conference history to go unbeaten in league play. They earned the #1 overall seed. By the way, Kansas and Kansas State are also in the same bracket as Nebraska. They made the postseason as well in volleyball that was announced yesterday. But this is one of those years where if you're a Nebraska volleyball follower or fan, if they don't win a national championship, it was a failure of a season. Doesn't matter if it was 30. Yeah. It was a failure. Their team is so loaded and so good. Coach Danny Busboom in her first season has so much talent and so much depth. She plays different lineups just for fun. She's just like, well, I don't know. Go in there. Give it a shot. Let's see what you got. It's amazing to watch. And for the most part, they really don't miss a step. When they are at full strength, they are untouchable. And they are the no doubt favorites to win the national championship. And anything short of a natty this year is complete failure. But winners of the weekend, a perfect 30-0 regular season, and dropped just one set in what was a perfect 18-0 in Big Ten play this year. Pure domination for Nebraska volleyball. Winner of the weekend.
Okay. Well, I got 2 more quick ones just to finish it up for the winners. So there was a football game played on Saturday at 11 o'clock Central Time, and some would say it's the game. Ohio State, Michigan, and those Buckeyes. I mean, I don't think anyone here really cares, but I do. Ohio State 27-9 over Michigan, dominant. Michigan was talking a bunch before the game. They didn't back anything up, and they went full tough guy mode at the end and tried to defend their logo like we were going to do anything. And no, nothing happened. And on top of that, Brutus X'd out the M in the Michigan end zone during the game as well when they were driving on the other side of the field. So I think that just punctuated what was a big moment in the history of the game. I'll admit Michigan had Ohio State's number for a few years, won 4 straight after they got scared and ran away in 2020 and didn't want to play. I think that game would have gone in Ohio State's favor, but since their fan base is probably not feeling too great, I will throw Michigan a bone today. Their basketball team is pretty good. They were dominant in the Players Era tournament. They beat South, San Diego State and Gonzaga, 2 of the best mid-majors in the past 5 years. And Gonzaga, I don't even consider them a mid-major anymore just because they've been so dominant. They beat both of them by 40 points, and then they beat Auburn, top 25 ranked Auburn, still good without Bruce Pearl. They beat them by 30, and that was after there were some questions earlier in the season. Are they frauds? But it pains me to say it, but Michigan, not really frauds in basketball.
I want to go back to the game here. How nervous were you about that game on Saturday morning?
Not really. I mean,
I wouldn't have been that nervous.
They were missing their starting running back, Justice Haynes, and I think this is probably this might be the best, most talented Ohio State team in a while, in a run of a lot of very talented teams. But there's just so much skill in every part of this team. And this year, we have an elite linebacker, or 2 of them, Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles. The middle is clogged up. Great defensive line. Maybe a little, I guess not as good. I don't even want to say worse than last year's, and still great defenders on the back end. I mean, there's not really a hole on the team. So I was pretty confident.
I would have been. I don't know what would have made me think that Michigan, without their top player, in my opinion, their running back, Justice Haynes, was going to take care of you guys. I didn't think that was going to happen. So that game went about how I thought it would. Maybe close for a little bit. Ohio State pulls away because they're the most talented football team in college football, and it's not even close. They're the most talented football team in college football, and it's not even close. Go back and look at the recruiting rankings for Ohio State the last 5, 6, 7 years. The most talented football team. And then you add in, of course, transfer portal players from other teams that are really good, and you're going to have yourself the most talented football team. It would be a disappointment if Ohio State does not win a college football national championship. It would be a disappointment.
I think that's fair to say.
Yes, it would be a disappointment. So, like Nebraska volleyball in their quest for a national title, it's the same thing for Ohio State football. It would be a disappointment if they don't with all that talent. Okay, losers of the weekend.
All right, I'll start out. Well, piggybacking off the Michigan basketball, it's the Players Era tournament. I thought it didn't really go all that well, and you heard the scores I mentioned for Michigan. There were a lot of blowouts, not a lot of great games, and with the format they do with this tournament, the great games and the teams that play the great games get penalized. For example, Iowa State beat St. John's in a close one, and they thoroughly dominated Creighton in a, I think, like 15-point win that was pretty convincing. But Iowa State did not have an opportunity to play in the semifinal or final once the actual, I guess, tournament part of it started in that Final Four, because the way it's seeded is point differential. So basically, if you bury your opponent, or if you're like if you're a Duke, for example, and you get an easier team, if you played like Rutgers or something and you beat them by 40, like Michigan did to those teams, you would get rewarded for it, rather than if you're Iowa State playing a really tough St. John's team, you still win, you don't get rewarded for that. I think they need to make a bracket format for that with all the teams that are in it, with all 16, but they didn't, and I think it just didn't look good. And I mean, the atmosphere was horrible. I mean, it looked like there was no one at those games, and it just, like, the games, there were some good games in there, but it looked kind of dead.
Yeah, it's the beginning. I think I agree with you. They need to have more of a bracket style. I think it's kind of silly how what is it, pool play? I don't know how it's
pool play. Yeah.
So I would prefer the bracket style more, but we'll see. If you're going to go to 32 teams, I don't know how you're going to do that without maybe going to a bracket.
They have to. I mean, I don't know how you don't.
At some point in time. Losers of the weekend. I'm going to go national first. Vikings quarterback Max Brosmer, a loser of the weekend. Anybody happen to see that the Vikings got crushed by the Seahawks 26-0? Look, the Seahawks are good, and the Vikings, they've got problems at quarterback. I mean, let's just face it. 9 is not doing that great, J.J. McCarthy. And then Max Brosmer is their backup, which, no offense to Max Brosmer, but it's almost like as if the Vikings need a backup, and they're like, well, who is the guy playing at Minnesota down the road? Was that Brosmer? Yeah, bring him in. I think he'll be a good backup for us. It's like almost how it went. No offense to Max Brosmer, but he wasn't like he was that great at Minnesota.
He was all right.
He was fine. I don't know if he's a great quarterback, but it's almost like if they picked him up off the street and brought him on, and he became the first player yesterday in that 26-0 shutout loss to Seattle. First player with 4 interceptions and 4+ interceptions and 4+ sacks in his first career start since Alex Smith of 2005.
Alex
Brutal.
Smith. Wow.
Brutal stat line. 4+ interceptions and 4+ sacks for Max Brosmer and no touchdowns. Tough day at the office. I'm sorry, Max. I don't mean to be mean, but I mean, it was a pretty bad stat line. So first loser of the weekend, Vikings, Max Brosmer.
I'll rip through my next two since we're pretty late on time here. But first, Lane Kiffin is a loser for what he's been doing for his personal brand.
Blame the NCAA in college football more than you blame Lane Kiffin.
But the way he's handled it is about as bad as you could possibly do it. He has a team that could win a national championship, and he's just jumping ship for maybe a pretty good situation. I mean, LSU has an insane budget with NIL and everything, and he's probably going to make them a pretty great team. I wouldn't be surprised, but he's jumping ship from a team where he could just do the same thing there and win a national championship and he's taking the entire coaching staff just right before the college football playoff.
He tried.
He attempted to.
Only 4 guys went with him.
That's good. He attempted to, but it's just he's a scumbag, and I will always be preying on Lane Kiffin's downfall. And lastly, the Browns special teams. Gage Larvadain, the Browns punt returner, he muffed 3 punts. One of them, he lost the fumble, and the Niners recovered it in the red zone and promptly scored. And the other 2, he recovered, but the Browns were backed up all the way inside their own 20. And that's the reason they lost to the Niners by 18, despite outgaining them. So there you go.
Yeah, rough day for him for sure. Wouldn't want punt returning is so hard to do. It is truly a skill to have. My final loser, I'm just gonna play close to home. Nebraska football loser of the week, and they get dominated by Iowa on Friday in the Black Friday game, 40-16. Nebraska's lost 4 of their last 6 football games after a 5-1 start, and now just 2-10 in the month to remember. That would be the month of November. Underneath Matt Rule, 2-10. It's when the games matter the most. Nebraska crumbles, and there is a lot of things that need to be taken back. I was at the football game. I went to it on Friday.
Oof.
I was there in the crowd. It was cold. It was windy. It was not one of those great games you want to go there. And there were a lot of people that left at the end of the third quarter, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. That was as Matt Rule called it, unacceptable. Look, I'm not saying that Iowa is a bad football team. They know how to play the best they play really bad beginning of the year, and then they find out who they are, and they play great at the end of the season. Nebraska is the opposite. They play fine at the beginning of the year, and then when the season gets tougher, they completely falter. They've got to figure out some things. There's a lot of problems to get fixed for Nebraska football, particularly in the trenches in the coming years. And the thing that probably makes me most sad is that Nebraska gets all worried about Matt Rule leaving for Penn State when they were 5-1 or whatever, and then they sign him to a new contract extension, and then you end up going 4-6, or 2-4 the rest of the 6 games. Doesn't make me feel real good, warm and fuzzy inside when you do that kind of stuff. But that's just the trend that they're on. Nebraska's on this hamster wheel that is, it's like a nightmare some days. It is a nightmare. All right, we got to get to our first break. When we come back, Nick Athen going to join us from Chiefs Blitz. By the way, Jared wanted to chime in and says, I hope Ohio State loses. No one likes them. He just wanted to pass that along. So we'll take a break, come back. Nick Athen joins us from Chiefs Blitz next here in the Blitz.
Season's greetings from the Farmers State Bank in Oakley. Join us for our Christmas open house on Wednesday, December 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to enjoy refreshments and entertainment and pick up your 2026 calendar. Thank you for your business in 2025 and throughout our 118 years of community banking. Farmers State Bank of Oakley, member FDIC.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning. This is absolutely the Anderson Trade Group with your overnight market report on December the 1st. In the overnight session, March corn was down 2 at 445, and May corn was down 2 at 453, and July down 2 at 459. Jan soybeans were down 4 at 1133, March down 4 at 1141, and May down 4 at 1150. Kansas City hard red winter wheat, March was down 3 at 523, May down 3 at 535, and July down 3 at 547. The Dow Jones is currently down 200 points at 47,542. S&P is down 42 points at 6,817. NASDAQ is down 214 points at 25,267. Gold is up 28 points at 4,283 an ounce. And crude oil is slightly up at 58.94 a barrel. If you're out in the Colorado area and have any grain to market or risk management questions, please call John Hanke or John Stiles at 970-744-4484, or you can call the Overland Park office, myself, Tom Saludo, Jared Law, or Tyler Ghosh at 913-748-3000. Thank you.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at CISA.gov/secure our world. Then share them with family and friends.
LivestockMarket.com offers all the tools you need for a successful production sale. The easy-to-use online platform makes it super easy to take bids from anywhere in the world. Buyers can place pre-bids and real-time bids, browse your sales catalog, and watch your sale broadcast live. LivestockMarket.com is also the ideal platform for private treaty sales and timed online-only auctions. There's no easier way to find buyers for cattle, horses, sheep, and hay. Sell on your terms today with LivestockMarket.com.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, and cleaner American fuel. This message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
It's not just sports, it's your morning game plan.
I don't even believe you have a plan. I have part of a plan. That is not a plan.
This is the Morning Blitz.
All right, moving along here on a Monday, December the 1st. Once again, a very chilly start. 11 degrees outside the high here in the high plains. On our way to a high of 36. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to be broadcasting live. The Morning Blitz will be live on location from the Sherman County Gives Match Day at the Price Convention Center. We'll be there broadcasting live from 7 until 8 Mountain Time, and then we'll be there. I'll be there a little bit longer broadcasting as well with reports and updates from Sherman County Match Day. So look forward to being there and broadcasting live and doing that. We'll have some fun. Then we're going to have coffee and donuts, so come hungry, I think. So, yeah, and, of course, bring your checkbooks. Go and donate to your favorite cause. But we're pleased to welcome onto the program our second segment of the day. Of course, Nick Athen joins us. Good morning, sir. How are we feeling today?
It's snowing outside. I guess I'm feeling pretty good. It's December 1st, you know.
You haven't gotten out and gotten that snow shovel going yet?
No, I don't have that much to accumulate. I could brush it off with my shoe at this point, but yeah.
Oh, good. We're not gonna have any hurt backs or anything like that.
No, not yet.
Sometimes. So
got hurt feelings after my Chiefs dismal performance on Thursday, but other than that,
minus the Chiefs right now. How was Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was great. My wife Emily cooked an amazing meal. We had family here. Honestly, that was the best part of the whole weekend. So hey, I have no complaints in life. Again, as you can see by my trove of collection back here, I've experienced 60 years of Chiefs football, and I cherish every memory. And if they suck this year, they just suck this year.
I gotta ask: are you a turkey guy? Are you a ham guy? What do you?
Oh, I'm definitely a turkey guy, all in. Yeah.
Good deal. So I'm glad Thanksgiving went well, minus of course the Chiefs. I actually want to start away from the Chiefs. No offense, but I want to start kind of more on the Broncos in that close win last night over East against Washington. What do you take away from that game? Is it more of a disappointment that it was that close? Or is it more of an impressive deal that they just find ways to continue to win? I mean, they remind me of a Chiefs team from a season ago.
Yeah, they're the Chiefs of 2024 or 25 or whatever year we're in. I mean, they're winning exactly the way the Chiefs did last year. Improbable. It's the fortune and the quarterbacks they face and the game situations. You can say what you want that the Denver Broncos are going to go to the postseason and probably lose in the first round. But you can't discredit what they've done. I mean, they find a way to win these games. Now, are they a great football team? I don't know if they're a great football team. I think offensively they still it's still a mess. I thought the Commanders played their best game of this. They did everything they could to win that game. And if Benito isn't jumping, 10 feet tall, that's a loss. And then you can go back and you can count the Eagles game, and you can count the Chiefs game, and you can count all these games that the Broncos played. But give Sean Payton credit. He finds a way to win. Now, again, I don't think this is a team that's, they may get the 1 or the 2 seed. I think the Colts are going to miss the playoffs completely. So I think they're going to be the 2 seed if they keep winning. I think they just really have to win maybe 2 more games. But Denver's defense is elite. They didn't play well last night. I mean, there's really no excuse for that performance other than the final play, in my opinion.
You don't have any love for Marcus Mariota.
No, I mean, I like Marcus Mariota, but he's not an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean,
fun to watch though, maybe.
He's fun to watch, but and he took apart the Broncos defense. I mean, the Commanders offensive line was terrific last night. I mean, they just kept giving this guy pocket, and Mariota, to his credit, stayed in the pocket. Now, the officiating was, I can't say the words, was terrible. The officiating all weekend, including the Chiefs game, was horrendous. I mean, that's my biggest takeaway from all of this. I think teams have been taking advantage of really poor officiating and turning losses into wins. And it's happening at an alarming rate. And I think the Broncos have taken full advantage of that situation, as they should. And any team that is late in the game and gets a call that benefits the other team. So, I think the Broncos' success is tied to 3 or 4 things, and I'm not sure that's sustainable in the playoffs, as the Chiefs found out when they got blown out by the Eagles. So, listen, I'm giving them the props. They're going to win the division. They deserve everything coming to them. I'm not sure this team is built for success in even though I just don't think they're built for success in January.
Nick Athen, ChiefsBlitz.com here on the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream. Who are you taking right now, Patriots or Broncos?
Patriots are the best team in football.
Okay.
No question. And I'll tell you why. Because they blow out the teams that are bad. They play really good against the good teams and find ways to win and convincing wins. I think there are less question marks other than, losing their starting left tackle. That was huge for the Patriots. How they overcome that's going to be big going forward. But I think Vrabel has this team firing in all 3 phases without any struggles. I think with the Broncos, I think offensively, I think we can all agree there's some challenges there. The running game isn't going to be, they're missing their best running back. You've got a sophomore quarterback that, hasn't been in this position before, who has made some questionable plays, but overcome them all. So, but the Patriots to me are the best team in the AFC.
You heard it here first, folks. Nick Athens says take New England tonight over the Giants. Currently 7-point favorites. New England. He thinks they're going to smash them because they beat bad teams handily.
Yes,
so,
I did say that.
Easy money there. Nick Athens once again. I wanted to get to. I saw a graphic. The last few years when we've had John, we talk about divisions that stink. The AFC South kind of just comes up all the time on how bad it is. Not this year. No. This year, come on, man. This year, I'm telling you what, it's competitive. The Jaguars, the Texans, and the Colts.
Yep.
I mean, what a showing in the AFC South this year.
Yeah, I think it's impressive. And it's what's interesting about that division is, Houston started 1-5 or something like that. The Colts went lights out. The Colts are done. They're cooked. I mean, they're not even going to make the playoffs. I don't even think they can get to 10 wins. Not with that schedule. They still have another game with Houston, 2 against the Jaguars. And then, by the way, they get Seattle and San Francisco. Not a chance. Not a chance. And they lost Sauce Gardner for at least 4 games. So I just don't. I don't think the Colts are going to make the playoffs. I just don't see it. But I think you look at that division. Look at Jacksonville's just like the Broncos, just winning games ugly. And, taking advantage of a terrible schedule and taking advantage of some terrible quarterbacks. And, Liam Cohen has done a terrific job. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is a great quarterback or a good quarterback. I think he's serviceable. And it's enough because he gets that team fired up. They get that team fired up to play. But it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to watch. But I think the Jaguars, to me, are really good. Texans are probably the best team in the division right now. Whether or not they can catapult, and keep running the show on this, the Texans' schedule a lot easier than the Colts, but the Jaguars is the easiest of the 3. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Kind of a dumb question here, but
it's all right. I accept it.
If you took away Mike Vrabel from the coach of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Would you give it to Canales at Carolina and what he's done?
I don't know. I don't know if I'd go there as far as coach of the year goes. If you take Vrabel out of it,
maybe Sean Payton.
I would say Sean Payton. I mean, listen, when you lose for so long and you have a culture of constantly losing to the Chiefs and you haven't done anything since Manning's been there. There was a lot of issues with the Russell Wilson thing and the way he's turned this program around. I think Sean Payton has done the best coaching job outside of Vrabel in the NFL. And here I am ripping him that they're going to go one and done in the postseason. But I don't think that's Payton's fault. I think what Payton has done to accept the challenge of going against the Chiefs and and I've said this before, doing the one thing that no team in the AFC has done, Vrabel's going to do it. But you build a team that the Chiefs can't beat versus the other way around. That's what Sean Payton's done. That's his superpower. He figured it out. He said, you know what? We're going to build a defense that Patrick Mahomes can't beat. Just that simple. And that's the attitude they've taken. And eventually they'll build an offense that can't be stopped. So I think he's done a terrific job. I think he and Vrabel will be 1 and 2 for coach of the year.
I'm not trying to take away from Sean. I mean, I just look at the ingredients that he has to work with. It's a little bit more than what Carolina has at this point in time. Now they're getting better results because of that. They're having more success, but I don't know. 7-6 at Carolina with that roster. That's not all.
No, when you played Andy Dalton a couple of times this year, I guess that's still pretty good.
Also, but listener Andy says, would you go between Canales and I can't think of the guy. Is it Johnson at the Chicago Bears?
Ben Johnson.
Yeah, he's done terrific. I mean, I didn't even put him in the conversation, and he should be in the conversation. Usually, rookie coaches don't get coach of the year.
Right.
It's pretty rare, but yeah, that was the best hire. Next to Vrabel, that was the best hire in the offseason. No question. what he has done in Chicago has been impressive.
Yeah, he's done great work. But here's the thing. He had good ingredients there. They just had to put the puzzle together. They had the pieces, I think. They had to put the puzzle together.
I was not sold on the quarterback, not one bit. And I'm wrong. I admit it.
It's only 1 year. Let's just
well, yeah, it's true. But you know what? He you bring in a head coach who plays to the strength of your quarterback, and generally that's a good thing. Kind of wish Andy Reid would play to the strength of Patrick Mahomes, but we'll see. We got 5 games left. We'll see what happens.
With that being said, Chiefs fall to the Cowboys 31-28 on Thanksgiving. I know it didn't spoil your turkey, but at the same time, you look at that game. What were your takeaways, and how are you feeling heading into these last few weeks?
You know, my heart tells me they can go run the table and win 5 in a row. They've done it before many, many times. Then I extend the math. I'm like, if they didn't want to win to the Super Bowl, they got to go 3 road games. And they're 1-5 on the road this year. So that doesn't give me a lot of optimism. And then if they get to the Super Bowl, you're talking about a 9-game win streak. And I don't think this team has the defensive chops to get there. I think the offense is kind of a mess. Andy Reid has to be a lot more aggressive. I mean, 4th and 3 twice. The little things stick out for me. I don't understand that you go for it on 4th and goal twice, but you don't go for it at midfield 4th and 3. When your defense can't make a 3rd down stop and you can't get turnovers when the ball is right in front of you. I mean, I just think these things pile up. So I look at this and I say, okay, can they run the table? Yes, they can run the table. Would I be surprised if they didn't run the table? No, I wouldn't be surprised. But I keep going back to this one thing. There's not a team in the AFC that wants to see the Chiefs in the playoffs. Regardless if they get in there and they're 10-7, nobody's going to want to play them because they know the potential. So, and then the Chiefs on their part, they're not accepting the pressure. They just think their talent's going to override everything to get to the postseason, and it's not. They have to play better football. And I put a column up this morning. I think Andy Reid needs to remove the 51%. I think this needs to be more of a collective offense. I think Patrick Mahomes, sorry, Andy, I'm going for it on 4th down. We got to win this game. There's no tomorrow. I think he has to be that Tom Brady quarterback. And I think Andy has to, I can't believe I'm saying this, mark it down, 8:53 on December 1st. I think he needs to completely turn the offense over to Matt Nagy. And I'll tell you why. I think what Matt Nagy did in Chicago as the head coach and offensive coordinator, making Mitchell Trubisky a playoff quarterback based on a strong run game. And they got Dameon Pierce, who's probably going to be active Sunday night to play against his own team. I think the philosophy needs to change. And I think he and Patrick have a great relationship. I would like to see Nagy take 100% control of the offense and see what he can do the next 5 weeks. And I think that will steady the ship, because I think with Andy, and you can tell in his voice, he's into it. He wants to be the head coach. He's doing all the head coach things, but we don't want to hear about, I need to do a better job, or we're this close. Nobody wants to hear that anymore, regardless of all the success they had and all the things, hanging on my wall that celebrate this franchise. You got to step back. And I think Andy's at a point where he has to step back a little bit and allow Nagy to kind of run the ship. If not, I think we're going to see more of the same.
I'll let you go on this, and only about a minute or so to answer this, but, Kansas is going to miss the bowl season. Kansas football is going to miss the bowl season for that consecutive year. I know you've not been a huge Lance Leipold fan.
Nope.
But how do you feel after this season went for KU?
Well, I think the biggest problem for Kansas is, Lance is a program builder, but to play in the Big 12 with younger coaches, you got different philosophies. He's stuck with Daniels for that's the only quarterback he's basically ever known.
Yep.
Until the backup that came in a couple years ago.
Mallard.
Yeah. Probably. No. The one who led him to the bowl win a couple years ago.
Oh yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, he was the best quarterback.
Jason Bean.
Jason Bean was the best quarterback he had, period. Jason Bean won the big games. Daniels didn't really win that many big games. I mean, Jason's the guy who came back and, knocked off Oklahoma. And, he led him to a bowl game, and he was terrific. I think Lance's problem is he got everything he wanted. He doesn't have a very good coaching staff. He somehow recruits. Now, they did lose one of their top recruits last week. Then that was the big loss. And I would assume you're going to see a little bit more bleeding come from some of the recruits. I think if he's going to stay, he's going to get one more year, in my opinion. What he has to do is this. He's got to get the right quarterback. He's got to bring a whole new offensive staff in. He needs to replace the defensive coordinator. Don't promote within. Go out and get a young, hot candidate. Kansas has been willing to spend the money, and Kansas is going to have to eat some contracts. But in my opinion, they should move on from Lance now, but they're going to give him one more year. And that's probably the prudent move because the buyout is $20.1 million.
Nick, thank you, my friend. Have a great week.
See y'all. Peace
Once
out.
again, great stuff there from Nick Athen, ChiefsBlitz.com. Take our final break. Come back and wrap the show next on the Blitz.
The Cheyenne County Hospital would like to welcome Dr. Saba Shinzada, a board-certified doctor of osteopathy. His area of interest includes obstetrical medicine with incorporation of osteopathic manipulative technique. With strong focus on family medicine, Dr. Shinzada is passionate about providing high-quality care to his patients. Dr. Shinzada is now accepting new patients as well as obstetric patients. To make an appointment, you can call today at 785-332-2682. That's 785-332-2682.
Fall is here, and so are big savings at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation up to $7,000 off with eligible GMC loyalty. Check out the 26 GMC Arcadia 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. On the Chevy side, the 2026 Equinox is 0% APR, and the 26 Colorado Trail Boss gets $500 customer cash or 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Harvest the savings this fall at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Online at hurlchev.com.
We've been serving ag families for generations because we believe farming isn't just a job, it's a legacy. Whether you're just starting out or expanding your operation, F&B Bank has flexible lending solutions designed for you. This is Loan Officer Kennedy Frank at F&B Bank. We're proud to be your hometown ag lender, member FDIC.
This holiday season, we're thankful for our loyal customers and our Cheyenne County community. From our family to yours, safe travels and happy holidays. St. Francis Tire and Service, proud to keep our neighbors on the road.
All the sports you love, all in one place.
Ooh, this will come in handy.
This is the Morning Blitz.
All right, wrapping up the show with some leftovers here on the Morning Blitz. Connor, anything we need to get to that we have missed, or anything that's still on your mind that you want to get to?
Regionally, I think we're pretty good.
I did want to throw out here quickly. Tough weekend this past Saturday for JUCO hoops. 0-4 weekend. Colby Community College women lost at Cali 57-44. Colby men lose 78-66 to Cali. Fortis Tech Northwest men faced a Butler Grizzly team that made 23 pointers on Saturday. 23s. They scored 132 points. Fortis Tech Northwest had 98, but it's hard to keep up with a team that splashes home 20 long shots. And end up losing there. And the Fortis Tech Northwest women, they lost to Butler 78-38. They were out rebounded by 29 in rebounding margin. So tough one there on the glass for Fortis Tech Northwest women. Of course, we talked about Kansas losing. They lost to Utah 31-21. K-State bowl eligible after a 24-14 win over Colorado. I think they found their next running back. I think they figured it out a little late in the season, But they found their next guy, Joe Jackson, 142 yards and all 3 rushing touchdowns for Kansas State, who's 6-6 and await their bowl destination. Of course, they beat Colorado, who actually outgained Kansas State at this point in time. They're in that game, 323-321, not by much, but they end their season at 3-9. And Coach Prime is saying we got to get back and get going there. So, yeah. Oh, don't forget tonight, college hoops, which we'll get to that here in the walk-off. So let's get to the walk-off. We'll talk a little college hoops tonight.
And back lifts his ball deep to right. How about a walk-off Brady? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Little college basketball. It's going to feel pretty slow during the week without it being feast week.
Yeah.
Gosh, there was a lot of basketball on. K-State, though, tonight, trying to end a 2-game skid. They lost on Wednesday night up at Indiana. Got blown out there. They will be back at home at Bramlage, taking on Bowling Green. That is at 7 Central, 6 Mountain Time. Listen to it on 100.3 The Ride. You can watch on ESPN+. Colorado tonight hosts Cal Baptist in college hoops tonight. Anything else on today's program, Connor Schuh?
I do have a quick note. Marcus Johnson, former Bowling Green basketball player, is on K-State. I don't know what his deal is, though. I think he's hurt right now because he has not played yet, but he's on the roster.
Well, I tell you what, it doesn't even matter. I mean, basketball rosters change every year. I mean, is there anybody he knows even on the roster besides maybe the coach?
Probably not.
Oh, anyway, don't forget, of course, tomorrow we are on remote, broadcasting live from the Sherman County Gibbs Match Day going on tomorrow at the Price Convention Center here in Goodland. So coming out, say there. We'll be broadcasting live from 7 until 8 with the Blitz, and then I'll be there a little bit later on after that as well. So come on by, say hello. Look forward to seeing you at Sherman County Gibbs Match Day tomorrow and being out live on remote. Always fun. Who knows what kind of technological issues we will have, but we're going to attack it with full strength. For Connor Schuh, I'm Ross Volkmer. See you tomorrow here on the Morning Blitz.